Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video because this has been highly requested. I get a lot of questions about my favorite Sigma brushes. So today I partnered with Sigma to bring you a video all about Sigma brushes, my favorite individual brushes, my favorite brush set, and just more information in case you guys are interested. So if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that most of the brushes that I own are from Sigma. They are my top favorite brush brand, so I feel very confident working with them and bringing you this video because I know and love my Sigma brushes. So if you guys are curious about which ones that I would recommend and the ones that I like the most, then just keep on watching. So brush shopping can be a little bit stressful, especially with a brand as big as Sigma because they have a huge line of brushes, so it can be a little bit intimidating. I remember when I first started with makeup and YouTube, Sigma were the only brushes that I wanted, but there were just so many of them and I wasn't really sure which ones would be worth it. So I've been using Sigma brushes for over a year and a half now, so I feel like I have a pretty wide knowledge about the brand and the brushes that I like, the ones that work for me the most. So those are the brushes that we're going to be talking about. So first off, I want to talk about my favorite set of brushes. This is a question that I get asked a lot all over my social media, and this might not be around forever, so just know that the brushes in the collection I'm about to mention are all available individually. So my favorite set is the Ultimate Copper set. Now this is my favorite not only because of the very pretty copper handles, but because I feel like there's a wide enough variety of brushes inside this set to where if you were a beginner or if you just wanted a complete collection, a one and done collection, I feel like you have enough brushes in here to complete a makeup look and complete it well. I feel like the tools that you use are very important. I feel like when you're first starting, you can get away with using some brushes that maybe aren't as great, but then once you want to bump up your skill level, the tools are very, very important. So I feel like you get everything you need really inside the Ultimate Copper collection. So hopefully this will be available when this video goes up. If it is, I will leave it down below. And I do have a coupon code for you guys. If you do shop from Sigma, you can use the code Kendall and you will get 10% off your order. So I am going to take out 3 of the brushes from the Ultimate Copper collection because these are some of the brushes I'm going to be talking about individually. So 3 of my must-have die-hard brushes are inside this collection, but I also really enjoy the other brushes here, so I had to give it a mention. So one of the brushes that I cannot live without from Sigma, you guys have probably heard of. It's an award-winning brush. It's one of Sigma's top-selling brushes. This is the Sigma F80. So this is their flat top kabuki brush. I use this for my foundation. I actually have 3 of them behind me, so I have 4 in total. I cannot live without this brush. If I travel, I take it with me. I just love it so much. That's why I have so many of them, so when one of them is dirty, I can switch on to the other ones. So this is the copper one. I also like the chrome collection. I love them all. I just really love the beautiful like rose gold of the copper collection, but the F80 is definitely a must. It is the first brush I ever purchased from Sigma, and I'm so happy. This brush right here is the first brush I ever purchased from Sigma. I think I purchased it maybe 2 years ago and it's still in perfect condition. I don't want to say the brand name, but I've definitely had other brands of brushes shed on me within the first year. These don't do that. They're very heavy and nice quality also, so the F80 is definitely a must in my collection. So the next brush I have to talk about is another face brush. Both the F80, this brush, and another brush I'm going to talk about are available in the Ultimate Copper collection, but this is the large angled contour brush. This is the F40. I love this brush for contouring, but with me and my bigger cheeks, I actually like to use this for blush. I prefer white-haired brushes. You guys know that from my makeup tutorials. I feel like it diffuses color evenly and not too much of the color goes off on your face. So that's why I think this is perfect for blush. I feel like blush, you don't want to really pack it on too heavy, so I feel like this does a really good job of diffusing it, and it just gives me a perfect blush application. So I really recommend this brush, especially if you have bigger cheeks like me. I feel like it fits perfectly in that blush area. I really, really like it, and it helps you to pinpoint where you want to put the product. So I had to mention this one as well, and it's definitely a top favorite of mine. So this next brush I have definitely talked about on my channel before because it's my favorite blending brush of all time. This is the E25 blending brush. It's a white-haired blender for your eyeshadow. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now because I have black creamy eyeshadow on, but this fits perfectly into the crease of my eye, and again, white hair is very good for blending. I prefer it with my blending brushes, so the E25 is another one of those brushes that I have multiples of because I can't live without it. If you guys are ever wondering what my favorite blending brush is, or if I could recommend a starter brush for blending your eyeshadow, it's definitely the E25, so don't skip out on this brush. It's my favorite brush from Sigma. Obviously, all of the brushes I'm talking about are my favorite brushes from Sigma, but this one and the F80 are the absolute die-hard must-have. You have to pick them up at some point in your life kind of brushes. So this next brush that I'm mentioning is my favorite for picking up cream product and precisely putting it onto your face. So this is the Sigma Precision Flat P80 brush. So this basically is a mini version of the F80, and I just feel like this is a perfect brush for cream product. I use it to carve out my cheekbones with cream contour. I use it to just put on a cream foundation before I blend it out. But also another very nice purpose of this brush is to use it to blend out your eyeshadow base. So I will blend out my Painterly paint pot all over my lid, and I always use this brush. So it really is a must-have in my collection. I had to talk about it because I use it so often. It's not a brush that I feel like I see a lot of people talking about, but it's definitely one of those utility brushes that just help you in your makeup routine, especially because eye base is so important. If you guys are ever wondering what I blend my eye base out with, I don't like to use a beauty sponge because they're wet and I don't feel like they work as good. So this just creates a nice even base on the eyelid, but also, like I said, for the cream products on the face, I also really like this one. So the next brush I have to talk about is another brush that I've had for probably 2 years now, and it's still in really good shape. This is the E54 Medium Sweeper brush. So I use this to pack on eyeshadow onto the eyelid before I blend it out with my blending brush. So this works beautifully for foiled eyeshadows. It works really good for matte eyeshadows. I feel like this might be a brush that's kind of boring to talk about, but everybody needs a good packing brush because pigment is very important when it comes to eyeshadow. So this is the one that I've been using since the birth of my YouTube channel. So again, I had to mention this guy. So if you guys know me, you know I love highlighter. So my favorite highlighter brush from Sigma is the Strobing Fan Brush. This is the F42. It's a little baby fan brush. I've talked about this on my channel before too. What this does for me is it helps me pinpoint the location of my cheekbones where highlight should go, because sometimes if you use a brush that's a little bit too fluffy, you can get it going all over the place, which some people do love, but sometimes I really like to chisel out the perfect area of my highlight, and this brush, as you can see, it just pinpoints it perfectly for me. It fits perfectly on my cheekbone where I need it to fit, and it also just disperses the perfect amount of product. This never really picks up too much product. Sometimes I like a powder highlighter and I like to pick it up right out of the jar. And with this, as long as you do a little tap, you get the perfect amount and you're not overloading highlight onto your face. So on a daily basis, when I put highlighter on, this is the brush that I use. Okay, so you know how I mentioned that the other two brushes were my die-hard must-have brushes? Well, those are perfect for literally everybody, but if you are trying to pick up your skills a little bit with makeup, if you're trying to branch out a little, if you want to do cut creases or work with cream color a lot, something a little bit different, there's a brush that you absolutely need in your collection. I've talked about this brush with pretty much all of my cut crease tutorials, and that is because you need something to lay down cream product and to cut it nice and sharp. So what I use is the Sigma Cream Color Brush. This is the E58 brush. So what this is a flat synthetic. Everybody needs one of these in their life. This brush is absolutely perfect for a cut crease. I don't know what I was doing without it. I don't remember what I was doing without it. This is what I use for all my cream color. If you guys like working with cream eyeshadows, this is something that you should have in your collection because it picks it up and it places it on your lid, kind of like your finger would do, but more sanitary. So I really enjoy this, especially for cut creases, and I just feel like I had to mention it because I do use it a lot and I've used it a lot on my channel also. So yeah, the cream color brush from Sigma is definitely a must-have. Okay, so the last brushes I have to talk about from Sigma are their eyeliner brushes. Sigma definitely knows their eyeliner. I love Sigma eyeliner products, but their eyeliner brushes are amazing. So I have 3 of them that I enjoy. They have more than these, but I'm gonna talk about each one of these for different reasons. The first one that I wanna talk about is their winged liner brush. This is the E06. I feel like this is better for a beginner because it's an angled little tip and you can wing your eyeliner perfectly. It's not too stiff, it's also not too floppy. So this is really good if you like an angled brush. I also really like this for filling in the eyebrow with any kind of pomade product. So yeah, I really like this one. It's their best-selling eyeliner brush, but I also like these 2 over here for different reasons. So I also really enjoy their basic eyeliner brush. This is the E11. If you guys like a brush tip liner, but you want to branch into gel liners or you want to pick it up with a brush and apply it, you're going to like this because this is the basic pinpoint eyeliner brush. It's tiny. It will create the perfect thin little line. So if you guys like that kind of brush, the E11 is the way to go. Then if you're like me and you like a bent eyeliner brush, they also have one of those. So this is basically the same as the E11, it just has a bent tip to it. This is the B12 bent liner brush. So all of these are great for different reasons, but in general, Sigma eyeliner brushes are the best ones that I've come across. I really enjoy them for my winged liner, and if I'm ever using a gel liner, these are the brushes that I'll use. I like them all though, so I couldn't really narrow it down to one, but the E06 is their best seller if you want to base it off of that. But I really like all of them. Alright you guys, so those are my top favorite brushes from Sigma. I love the Sigma brand. Their brushes are super durable and long lasting, and they're the most effective in my opinion. So if you guys are interested in any of the brushes that I mentioned, I will leave all of them down below. I also do have that coupon code. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did find this video helpful and you liked it, then please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much to Sigma for sponsoring this video also. I love you guys and I love your products. And if you guys want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe down below. I put out new videos every single week and I would love to have you. And hopefully I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.